Dave.
Jake.
Steve. I'm Matt, and this is our analysis on the Patel family's financial situation. So the Patel family, they live in Harrisonburg, Virginia. They live a great lifestyle relative to the type of income they have. Raj used to work long hours, 40 to 50 to 60 per week. They feel social pressures to live up to the standards of the community, but it's slowly coming to end due to the recession hit. They came to us in need of help because they know that they're in trouble with the way things are going. So we found that some of their strengths were, since Raj used to work 50 to 60 hours per week, his family is used to that. Now he is only limited to 40 hours. We just, but it's not furnished. This could be used to their advantage. They could sublet the basement to a small family or college student or just someone living on their own. We're assuming that it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment that someone could live in with a kitchen. Now, Raj's wife, Nikita, she's also interested in becoming a tax return preparer, a registered tax preparer. This is great. She could add extra income to her salary per year. It might equal up to $20,000 per year of extra income. This will help because the way things are, they're in debt, like we said before. Some other weaknesses or strengths. Their auto insurance is pretty good. It's above the minimum. They have a 50K, 100K, 25K policy. That's great. The state minimum is 25K, 50K, 20K. So if they, God forbid, were ever in an accident, that might help them in a court. Also, they started a couple of retirement accounts. Raj, he has a 401K in his manufacturing plant where he works. He doesn't contribute much, but as we help him, it'll allow him to contribute more to that plan, so he'll be stable in the future. And his wife Nikita, she has a rollover IRA account from her last employer. She's thinking of making that into a Roth IRA account, which we think is a great idea. Now, they have a lot of weaknesses. Like we said before, the recession hit and it cut Raj's hours to 40 per week. It cut his hours and their income, but they didn't cut their spending. Both parents, they hate cooking. They don't find it enjoyable, and this leads them to eat out at restaurants a lot. So that is a lot of wasted money right there. And they live a lifestyle that they can't keep up with. Some examples of that, Raj's, his neighbors, friends, they have a membership at a local golf club. This is just an extra cost that shouldn't be there. Raj, he works way too much. He'll only get on the course, I don't know, maybe once every few weeks. So it's just unwanted cost. Also, Raj was out of work for 2 weeks when the factory shut down for a time. They weren't able to make a car payment, so they took out a payday loan, which is extremely high interest rate. They haven't paid that off yet, and the interest just keeps tacking on. So we need to take care of that as soon as we can, help them with that. And they also reached some of the limits on a credit card. This is bad, obviously, because this should be used in case of emergencies, and now that they've reached the limit, if they ever needed it, it's not there for them. Health insurance is provided through Nikita's employer. They provide coverage for the whole family. They have a $750 deductible per family member with $1,500 maximum per year. Now after the deductible, they pay a 20% co-insurance payment per doctor visit. And now disability insurance.
So when it comes to disability insurance, Raj only has a short-term disability insurance. only covers 90 days, so we need to change that and get him on some long-term disability insurance. Um, his short-term disability doesn't have an elimination period, which is very positive for them, so they'll be able to be covered in that first 90 days, while the long-term disability insurance that he's going to get doesn't cover him for the first 90 days. So that's a positive thing that he has going for them. Nikita's employer doesn't provide any disability coverage at all, so we have to get her on some disability coverage as well. So it's in their best interest to obtain long-term life insurance for the both of them. So, going through Mutual of Omaha seems to be the best policy for Raj and Nikita. They would spend approximately $100 a month for $4,000 monthly benefit for the both of them. This policy would be enough to take care of either Raj or Nikita if one of them was to become disabled. Now, life insurance. Raj is also enrolled in his employer's life insurance. This is a $44,000 policy and is not nearly enough to provide financial security for their family, nor should be the sole source of life coverage. When the Patels are deciding what kind of life insurance to get and how much, they need to consider their main financial goals. So those goals in determining life insurance should be to maintain the dual income of the family and also be able to provide enough money to send their kids to college. The cost of this policy in Virginia for their situation costs them only $36 per month for Raj and about $25 for Nikita. And the Patels, they currently have a split limit auto insurance that exceeds the Virginia state minimums, which is 25, 50, 20. We suggest them, they have pretty good auto insurance right now, but we suggest once they sell their cars that they should get even better health insurance just to cover even more liabilities. So we suggest them to get a 130-50 plan, and that would make them more secure and investing. It would be like an investment in the financial protection of their car. So they would have a maximum $300,000 for all persons and $100,000 for each individual person for bodily injuries. And then finally, they would have $50,000 for property damages. So now this more than doubles the state limit for Virginia. And since they'll have less expensive cars but also have an increase in protection, we expect that their annual premium should remain approximately at $3,000. The Patels can also look into taking defensive driving courses, and they may possibly find a different insurer that may be less expensive.
Okay, so for retirement, the Patels would like to retire with 75% of their current income. Right now, the totals of their current incomes is $51,000. To aid in reaching that retirement, they should invest in municipal bond mutual funds. It's a relative safe investment to ensure small but steady return. A Vanguard long-term tax-exempt fund is a great option with annualized return of 4.9% over the past 10 years. It gives them just that little bit extra to reach their retirement. Currently, Raj has $32,000, just about $32,100 in his current employer's 401k. Currently, his employer will match 50% of the contributions up to a total of 5%. So Raj should definitely take advantage of that. It's free money through the program. Really helps them reach their retirement goal. I recommend that Raj contributes 10% of his income to his 401k for the employer to reach the 5% maximum. Since it's free money, you should definitely do it. And then with estate planning, it's very important. They have 2 small children currently. Recommend that they should set up a trust, determine guardians for them in case terrible event and Mrs. Patel both pass away. This will avoid family fights over personal belongings in case of that accident. They should, to prepare for the estate planning, they should gather all personal documents. I would suggest highly that they should hire a lawyer to just see out the process, make sure they cover every detail. Also suggest they create a tax exemption trust and be prepared to move money from a little bit of money from the retirement fund into the trust just to cover costs in case for covering the child's expenses if they're gone. If the guardian is not financially responsible, they could, you are allowed to name a person just solely in charge of the funds. So that would be better if the person is not ready to handle the money. Also, I recommend that they start the process within the next several months, covering anything in case a bad accident happens, so the children will be prepared.
So in 2001, tax laws were changed to allow substantial benefits for parents who wish to set aside money for their children's future college expenses. When parents invest funds in the Section 529 College Savings Plan, any income or gains from the investment will not be taxed at the federal level as long as the funds are ultimately used to pay for colleges. So the Patels have Priya, who is 7, and Aziz, who is 5. So invested in the 529 plan, Aziz will have 2 years longer of interest to gain more money than Priya. So as you can see, some of the benefits that I mentioned, federal tax advantages, gifted and state benefits, control, flexibility, risk averse, low investment costs. Also some other benefits include more financial aid and the mobility of funds, so the money can go to another child if one decides not to go to college. So we decided on the Virginia 529 Invest Plan as the best 529 plan for the Patels. We believe that invested in their own state program will be the most beneficial, and they'll receive the most benefits and the necessary return. The Patels will need to decide on either an aggressive growth plan to gain as much interest as possible, or a moderate growth plan to stay a little more risk averse. The year-to-date return on the aggressive growth is 3.42%, and moderate growth is 2.72%. Also, in deciding on their plan, they could go with an age-based plan instead of the static-based plan, where this plan might be beneficial in terms of adjusting risk as age grows nearer to college. So one thing we did to calculate how much money they might need to save for college, we used a college saving plan tool, which was provided by Vanguard, to determine how much Patels would need to invest monthly to reach their goal of paying for their kids at a public 4-year university. So we realized that they do not have much disposable income, so we said that it was necessary to cut their dining out expense in half to add about $100 a month per kid to their 529 plan. This still would bring them only to covering about 30 or 40% of their college savings plan. So the Patels really need to cut back on their expenses. So yeah, going on to lifestyle changes. In order to pay off all these liabilities and make the improvements, changes need to be made in their lifestyle. Rent payments, utilities, personal expenses, extra activities, and reduced dining expenses to save for college. They could possibly move to another area. They need to reduce their utilities, and obviously their personal expenses need to be cut down to around $60. So also it's necessary for them to sell off some of their unnecessary assets that they have, like their 2010 Volvo and their 2009 BMW. This is necessary to start saving for their emergency fund. Also some other unnecessary things might be the violin or the golf clubs, which they could possibly sell off to buy used sets of each. So yeah. In conclusion, at the end, these major cutbacks will provide them enough to pay off their liabilities and see continued benefits. Thank you.